and welcome to The Print. Today we're in conversation with Trinamool Member of Parliament, Ms. Sagarika Ghose. Ma'am, thank you for speaking to us at The Print. Not the most ideal time for the party. The elections did not go your way in Bengal. What happened? There have been defections. A large chunk of your party has joined a political party which had about 800 rupees in their bank account up until now and had 0 MPs.
So, Isha, the thing is, the BJP did not win in Bengal. The BJP's victory was engineered by the Election Commission. As you know, 27 lakhs were deleted from the electoral rolls. Delhi is just starting the SIR process. So, Delhiites will now go through what has happened in Bengal. The SIR process should have taken about 1 year to 2 years. In Bengal, it was done in 6 months. Less than that, 3 to 4 months. 27 lakhs are put on the logical discrepancy list. There was no logical discrepancy list in any other state. In all, 91 lakhs were deleted. And the BJP's winning margins in constituencies was much smaller than the deletions. For example, in Rajarhat Newtown, I'll tell you the example. Rajarhat Newtown is now the subject of an election petition. Rajarhat Newtown is a scandal, the results there. There, the Trinamool Congress candidate was winning right till the end, until at the last round, suddenly a Muslim-dominated booth results came in, and 97% of that Muslim-dominated booth's vote had gone to the BJP. Now, another news website, Alt News, has gone to that booth and has spoken to those people, and they said, well, we voted completely in another direction, so we don't understand how our booth.
But how can you take? But how can we?
So I'm just let me just finish my point. I'm just saying that the results are false. So that is what happened in Rajarhat Newtown when the BJP candidate won by 316 votes. You know, in Jangipura, again, where the BJP candidate won by 800 votes, the deletions were 17,000. Now, if only 800 of those 17,000 had voted for the TMC, we would have won. So, you know, it's like, for example, I live in Panchsheel Park. I stand for elections. Before the elections, 20,000 voters of Panchsheel Park are deleted. I win the election by 500 votes. But if only 500 of those 20,000 who have been deleted had voted for me, had not voted for me, I would have lost. So, you know, where the deletions were so huge and where the victory margins were so small, clearly the SIR deletions played a part. They contaminated the election. The election was engineered by the BJP. As you know, the Election Commission played a completely biased role in Bengal. 2 officers of the Election Commission, one has now become the Chief Secretary, who was working with the Election Commission. One has now become the Chief Secretary. One has now become the Chief Advisor to the Chief Minister. These were officers who were supervising the election. So we do not accept the result in Bengal. This is a fake result. It is a false result, which is why the former Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, as you recall, had said that I won't resign because this is not a result that is real. You see, nobody minds losing in a free and fair poll, but the election in Bengal does not satisfy the threshold of a free and fair poll. Having said that, the election was completely engineered. This is a fake result. The Election Commission has created the victory for the BJP. That's point number 1. Point number 2, yes, there was a level of anti-incumbency. We've been 15 years in power, and we're prepared to accept that there was anti-incumbency, and certainly we will do introspection and we will look inward to see where we may have lost the trust of the people. But I would say that since this was not a free and fair poll, we will do introspection. But this particular poll, we believe, has not been one where the results have been any reflection on our government, because this was engineered. Point number 2, the people who are defecting. I think it shows moral cowardice, weakness of character, a kind of loss of integrity. I think there is an ethical and moral deficit. When you win on a particular leader's face, when you put her face on your poster, when you win on a particular party symbol, then when that party loses, you switch to another party. I mean, what kind of morality is this?
But
And the
something similar happened in...
people who have won this election on Mamata Banerjee's face would have not even won a club election on their own. But they have won because of her, they have won because of her symbol, and now they are deserting her because the party has lost this. I think this is the worst form of political immorality and opportunism. So that's what I would say about them.
But this is not new to politics.
It's not new.
In 2021, when the Trinamool Congress won, had a resounding victory, there were defections from the Bharatiya Janata Party towards the TMC.
There may have been people who decide to switch loyalties after the election of
Mr. Mukul Roy, one of the union ministers also
that's
switched.
from TMC to BJP,
and
then back to the TMC.
Yes, correct.
So again, I think it shows the lack of political morality. I think it shows a moral and ethical deficit. Anyone who chooses to leave a party, they won this on the basis of. If they choose to leave that party, I think it shows a moral deficit. Whoever does it. So I think the TMC is even more glaring, because these people, and actually it's against the law, it's unconstitutional, because the 10th schedule has specified
there are
that parties can merge. MPs cannot merge. A political party, that is the 10th schedule, a political party can split or merge with another political party. The political party, that is what the 10th schedule says. Then, once the political party has split or merged or gone in another direction, then if the representatives of that political party in the parliament choose to join another party, if 2/3 of them join another party, then they do not attract the anti-defection law.
The anti-defection law
that is the essential clarity we have to establish. There is a matter of sequence. It's a chronology. First, the original party splits. First, the original party merges. Then the MPs merge or split or whatever. Then they do not attract the anti-defection law. That is the law.
Would you agree, when we spoke to Mr. Singhvi a couple of weeks back, he said that the anti-defection law has made the law to look like an ass. Would you agree with the statement?
I do think that the anti-defection law needs to be amended. I think there should be actually anyone who leaves a party after the result and goes to another party makes a nonsense of the democratic mandate.
It happened, but you do agree. But
I totally agree. I totally
agree. It happened with TMC as well. That you
but that
did
doesn't
welcome,
make it right.
But you did welcome defectors as well.
I mean, if people choose to join a particular party, after the elections, that's their choice. But that is not something that is ethical or moral.
So you're still saying that even if they come to TMC,
also there is a certain time period that also elapses, right? When you win an election, instantly the next day, overnight, you move to another party. To me, that is opportunism of the highest order and political immorality of the highest order.
Did you see this coming? Did the top brass?
I don't think so.
Did Mamata Banerjee, Abhishek Banerjee?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think all of us are very disappointed, distressed, anguished, and outraged that people who have been with Mamata Banerjee for decades and have been close to her, have worked closely with her, they have chosen to do this. It is outrageous and it is shocking.
Did somebody reach out to them, try to ask them what
I have no idea what happened to them. I have no idea how they switched.
No, but from the TMC, when you heard...
From the TMC, well, I think some conversations were opened, but there was no, since they switched and made statements and gave statements against the party, gave statements against the leader, gave statements against us, I don't think there was any kind of attempt to, the leadership was very clear. If you want to go.
Mr. Kalyan Banerjee is still a part of the TMC.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's
the chief whip.
He is the chief whip, but he has also raised questions about the way the party functions. There was some sort of bitterness with Abhishek Banerjee as well. Later, he did come out on record and said all is well and he's like my nephew. But he has said that there are issues within the party. Have they been addressed?
There may be issues within the party. Look, we're all human, Isha. A party is a human living organism, and within this organism and this organization, there will be differences. There will be people who have problems with each other. There may be differences of view, but we air them in our party forums. These issues come up in our party forums. First, we have all met Mamata Banerjee after the election result. We all went to Calcutta. We met her, and a lot of issues were raised. And this issue also came up, whatever, between certain people. These issues and differences happen in political parties. They happen in families. They happen in any friendship. They happen in any kind of long relationships. Always have disagreement, layers of misunderstandings, or maybe disagreements, or maybe there is some kind of historical misunderstandings. But these essential point is they can all be sorted out in the party forum.
So you're saying this is the way a thriving democratic party works, where
yes,
disagreement also thrives.
Disagreement thrives, and we work it out in our party forums. We have very open party forums. Our leadership, Mamata Banerjee welcomes disagreement and debate, and we disagree and we debate, and these things are sorted out in the party forums.
I won't name this particular MP who left the TMC. I was in conversation with him a while back, and when I asked him, why did you move out of the party? He said, it's very dictatorial. They don't listen. There is no mechanism to sort of go and express your discontentment. And that is one of the reasons that I walked out of the party. This was a Rajya Sabha member who said that.
I'm very sorry to hear that. I'm very disappointed to hear that, because the fact is, would this member have left the party if we had won the election? That is the question to ask.
No, this is somebody who left long back.
Who left long back? Well, then in that case, I have a completely different experience, because my experience is that actually it's very easy to talk to leaders. It's very easy. They're literally a phone call away, and you can WhatsApp them and you can talk to them, and there's never been any issue with not being able to talk to the leader. None of us have had this issue. None of us who are choosing to stay behind have had this issue. Stay behind, that's a wrong word. Those who are true to the ideas of the Trinamool Congress have never had this issue.
Speaking of the Trinamool Congress, how is the party keeping it together right now? How are you approaching?
I think we are all those of us who are who believe in the leadership of Mamata Banerjee. I think she is a remarkable leader. I think personally, and I speak as a journalist as well, I think for a woman to have done what she has done is actually remarkable. It's more remarkable even than Modi. In sociology and in academia, there's this phrase, female accession to male martyrdom. That a powerful male dies and a woman steps into his shoes and inherits his martyrdom. Whether it's Indira Gandhi or Benazir Bhutto or Sheikh Hasina, Sirimavo Bandaranaike, South Asia this is the pattern across South Asia. That a powerful man dies and the woman inherits his political mantle and then inherits his party and then becomes a leader in his footsteps with the powerful man's mantle, right? There is only one woman politician in South Asia, forget India. There is only one woman politician in South Asia who has had no family, no male mentor, no organization initially when she started out, no sort of big system to back her up, and that is Mamata Banerjee. She had no family, no male mentor, no organization. Modi had the RSS. He was buoyed up on the shoulders of the RSS. He inherited the RSS organization. I think Mamata Banerjee is much more remarkable than Narendra Modi. She didn't have any organization like the RSS building her up. She built everything from scratch. Everything from scratch. And Indian politics, now I'm in politics, I see it from the inside. It is so patriarchal. It is so misogynistic. It is so harshly anti-woman that for a woman to do this, it is nothing but remarkable. And she's done it by struggle on the street. She has built a party. It's a political startup which she has built. She has then taken it to 3 successive victories. She has run a 15-year government. And in the 15 years of her as chief minister, there is not a single scandal or a single finger can be pointed at her. Nothing.
But there
compared
have
to
been
the other
governance, but there have been
compared to
governance
the other BJP chief minister. Somebody is accumulating a land bank in Madhya Pradesh.
Understandably.
Somebody is known for collapse of law and order. There has never been, in the record of the 15 years of Mamata Banerjee, there has never been a breath of scandal attached to her.
Law and order,
So-
but violence in when there are polls, this is sort of associated. Ma'am, you're a journalist, you would know.
There
too.
is a streak of violence that is there in Bengal politics.
And
There is
since
no
the
doubt
TMC
of
was in
that.
power for 15 years,
No,
do you not think
it's
there could have
not.
something
It's
been
not
done?
that. It's not that. What we are seeing today is the collapse of law and order. Have you seen the way people are being? The kind of war that the BJP has declared against the opposition in Bengal is scandalous. There are people who are being paraded down the streets, handcuffed. Their waists are tied with ropes. They're being stripped down to their shorts and they're being paraded on the streets. This is a medieval barbarism. By all means, if somebody is guilty of wrongdoing, please bring the full force of the law against them. But you cannot abuse anyone's human rights or anyone's self-respect as a human being. Let the law proceed against these people. Let the law act against whoever is accused of wrongdoing. But why are you parading people down the street and in shorts and in handcuffs and with the ropes around their waist? I mean, that is, you're burning down Trinamool party buildings. You're attacking our cadres. Abhishek Banerjee was hit with a stone. If he hadn't been wearing a helmet, it was a fracture. It probably would have blinded him or had a bit of fatal injury.
Yeah.
So the fact is that what the BJP is doing to the Trinamool Congress is unacceptable. It is a war on the opposition. This was never the case in Bengal. This never happened to Buddhadev Bhattacharya. When the left lost power in Bengal in 2011, this never happened. Trinamool didn't do this to the left. The Buddhadev Bhattacharya were treated with respect. He was respectfully brought,
but
welcomed.
Respect is bare minimum, which of course, as you say, the BJP has
It is the
not
bare minimum.
followed. But there's
Mamata
nothing to be
Banerjee's,
proud of here, because if somebody's been treated with
Mamata
respect...
Banerjee's house was raided. Abhishek, I was just saying that there's no precedence for this in Bengal. This has never happened in Bengal. Mamata Banerjee's house was raided. Abhishek Banerjee's house was raided. This is unheard of.
Even IPAC.
This was unheard of. IPAC offices were raided during the elections, during the campaign. This is unheard of in Bengal.
But you would accept that there were some governance failures within the...
Certainly, for over 15 years, there were
several other cases as well.
The RG Car was a case where a terrible crime took place against a woman. It was a horrendous assault. And we completely were at one with the protest movement.
There were some comments
of
Mamata Banerjee,
but
which were also...
She was constantly in touch with the family. She was constantly in touch.
Women should not be out at night?
I don't think she said it in the context in which the media... You see, this is the other thing about women politicians. The media's laser focus on women politicians and stereotyping and caricaturing them is really what I think all the media also needs to introspect about. The kind of comments that the male politicians make, let's not even go there. But Mamata Banerjee, I don't think she said women should go out at night. That was a case of a Durgapur incident where she, I think, was questioning the rules of the hostel. In every hostel, there are rules of people. There's a curfew in Delhi University hostel. There are curfews in... So I think she was questioning the responsibility of the hostel, those who were running the girls' hostel, and what kind of security measures were in place at the hostel. In every Delhi university, this is the case.
You said it was taken out. Are you saying it was taken out of context?
It was completely taken out of context. It was not said in the RG Car incident. The RG Car incident, we actually brought in the Aparajita bill, giving capital punishment to anyone accused of sexual assault or anyone convicted of sexual assault. And that bill, the Aparajita bill, is still waiting with the president. It hasn't got the presidential assent when we passed it unanimously in the assembly.
Okay.
And Calcutta is the safest city for women according to the Modi government's own, the central government's own NCRB, the National Crime Records Bureau, safest city 4 years in a row.
Speaking of the national politics now, there were rumors that there is a Congress-TMC merger happening, and sources within the Congress said that it was from the TMC side, and there was apparently a vice president post offered to Ms. Banerjee. Any truth to that?
Nonsense.
Or was it just conjecture?
Nonsense. This was being spread by the BJP. There is no question of a merger. It is absolutely baseless. There is no question of a merger. However, I will say that the India alliance is closer than ever before, and we are working very closely together. We are convinced that by working together and working closely, we can defeat the BJP. Remember, in Bengal, the BJP got 45% of the vote, but 55% went to the was the opposition. Trinamool left and Congress together formed 55. So the vote against the BJP was higher than the vote for the BJP. So I don't think Bengal has become a BJP citadel or a BJP bastion. The fact is, the BJP in the first past the post system got the tally of 200 seats. But the anti-BJP vote is bigger than the pro-BJP vote. So I think we're looking at a very close alliance in the future.
If you say, ma'am, if you say that the anti-BJP vote was more than, which
in terms of percentage.
So if the opposition parties would have allied together, they could have kept BJP out of power.
Well, there's certainly something to be said in the fact that the opposition space in Bengal is huge. The opposition space in India is very huge. You can see the opposition space now in India is becoming massive. It's the students, the parents, the people upset about corruption, the people anguished about corruption. So the opposition space is certainly very huge, both in India and in Bengal.
If we speak of the India bloc now, how is the bloc doing? Thriving?
Thriving, thriving. We are moving forward in a spirit of solidarity, in a spirit of unity, in a spirit of complete partnership. And we believe we are fighting for democracy because democracy is being hijacked by the BJP. The Election Commission is working as the 12th man of the BJP. The Election Commission is engineering victories for the BJP. So we have, as you know, just today, we are 23 opposition parties have unitedly written a letter to the Chief Justice, yes. Pleading with the Chief Justice for an awakening of the judicial conscience and the awakening of the judicial mind, at the manner in which the SIR process is being used to snatch away the right to vote. So we are working in intense and deep partnership at all levels.
But when we saw the way the Bengal election was being fought, Mr. Gandhi, when he went to a couple of places in Bengal, he said that the rise of the BJP is because of Mamata Banerjee. Mamata Banerjee, when she was campaigning, she did say that Mr. Gandhi is a child, we shouldn't engage with him. Both traded barbs at each other. We can't say that it was just one political party. Both hit at each other.
We were fighting elections against each other. They were contesting against 294 seats. So it's like the left and Congress go at each other in Kerala. We were fighting against the Congress in 294 seats. The Congress put up candidates in 294 seats. We were against the Congress. In the gehmi of polling, a lot of hot words are exchanged on the campaign trail, but that doesn't mean at the national level we're not together.
I understand you're together on the national level, but if we look at it in the voter perspective, does it not create a contradiction, considering the voter is now going to think that, oh, in Bengal, they were saying such horrible things about each other, but now nationally, they're all together. So are they just together to defeat Modi? Is this just an anti-Modi alliance?
Not at all.
Because ideologically, we see a stark difference between Trinamool and the Congress.
No, ideologically, what is the difference?
When we look at the way the campaignings took place.
I don't think ideologically there's difference. We are all together ideologically in the sense that we are all loyal to the Constitution. We are all loyal to constitutional values. We believe the BJP is against the Constitution. The BJP, RSS has never accepted this Constitution. They have never accepted this particular Constitution that was adopted in 1950. The RSS has never accepted it. We are parties which put our faith in the Constitution, because the BJP, by using religion to play its politics, is being fundamentally anti-constitutional. The existential battle we have with the BJP is that you are using unconstitutional methods to play politics. You're using religion to play politics. This is not anything that any of the India Alliance parties do. We believe in pluralism. We believe in diversity. We believe in the secular traditions of India. We believe in the inclusive democratic traditions of India. And that's what unites all of us. So yes, at the state level, you're very right. We were fighting elections against each other. We were contesting elections against each other. But at the national level, we are united in the struggle to save democracy.
One final question.
It's not about Modi, but it is about the fact that the Modi-led BJP is destroying Indian democracy, is hijacking Indian democracy. and all opposition parties are united in fighting for a plural and inclusive India.
But the criticism that comes towards the India bloc is that you're all united, and the one agenda is anti-Modi, being against Prime Minister Modi. But that is a government which has been in power 3 consecutive terms.
That's a very good question. I don't think this is anything to do with any person. It is to do with the fact that the liberties of citizens are being snatched away, and that the democratic rights of citizens are being snatched away. Whether it is students being put in jail under terrorism laws, whether it is about the right to vote being snatched away, whether it is about students who are protesting being called terrorists, whether it is about policing individual freedoms, what to wear, what to eat, who to be friends with, register your live-in relationship. This is love jihad, that is not love jihad, you can't wear this clothing, you can't wear that clothing, you can't eat this, you can't eat that, you have to be, vegetarian on this day, vegetarian on that. So, the BJP, the Modi-led BJP has launched a systematic assault on citizens' rights and on citizens' liberty. The price of liberty is eternal vigilance. You have to be, unless you're vigilant about your rights, the rights will be taken away, the freedoms will be taken away. So we are fighting precisely for this. So we believe this is a moment of truth for India. It's not about, this party versus that party or individual X versus individual Y. It is a very basic existential battle of why values which we have held dear for decades, which are now under threat, have to be defended, have to be safeguarded, because these are basic to our democracy, basic to our freedoms as citizens. This is what why I entered politics, because from journalism, because I found that the freedom to question and the freedom to tell truth to power and the freedom to question the government is simply not there. The spaces are shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. I was, you were writing antiseptic pieces, trying to please this side, trying to please that side. So what has happened to the media? What has happened to the judiciary? What has happened to the election commission? Institutions have been completely captured and destroyed. What I remember, the journalism that I grew up in, the golden era, we were freely questioning governments in power all the time, whether it was a Congress government or even whether it was a BJP government under Vajpayee. Mr. Vajpayee was a very different kettle of fish from Mr. Modi. There was open criticism of the NDA government under Vajpayee all the time from the media. But here the media has been destroyed. The judiciary has, there are attempts to influence. Institutions like the ED and the election commission are being completely captured. So I think what has happened is this is a basic existential battle where the personal has become the political, actually, because the personal freedoms, personal liberties, personal choices are all in danger.
And that they're all
being taken away. I'm an author. And I was in a place where I was giving a talk where I was speaking about my book, and the group of people just came in and just shut the discussion down. We don't want her to speak, and everybody was helpless because this vigilante group had. And what was I doing? I was doing a book reading with a book club. And they just shut it down and no one had any recourse, because these vigilantes now speak for the state, they speak for the government, and they are speaking for the so-called sort of Desh Bhakti. So, this muzzling at every level, freedom at every level, I think is what is a basic existential battle. That is what the India Alliance is fighting for.
We discussed national politics, we discussed regional politics. We'll now, one final question we'll ask you. So you're a journalist, you set up news channels, you've been a journalist for a very long time, then you moved to be
34 years, yeah.
34 years, yeah, that is 3 decades, that is more than
I'm sure you weren't born when I started.
Yeah, so you've been in journalism for 34 years, moved to politics, Rajya Sabha member. What is next for Ms. Sagarika Ghose?
I am just, I'm very, actually very inspired by many of the leaders that I see around me. I think this is time for all of us to strengthen the voice of the opposition. I think this is the time for all of us to join the battle against the force of religious majoritarianism, which is threatening the basic values of India. And I'm just very humbled and privileged to be part of this fight.
That was Ms. Sagarika Ghose taking on very sharp questions and answering them head on as well, speaking to The Print. This is Isha with Anisha for The Print. Thank you for watching.